클릭해주셔서 감사합니다.
Hello everyone. I'm Laiseo JK. In the previous lecture, we talked about happiness economics and the relationship between wealth and human well-being. Today, we are going to ask one of the biggest questions in modern economics. Can capitalism survive the 21st century? The modern world is changing rapidly. Artificial intelligence is transforming work. Climate change threatens long-term stability. Inequality continues growing in many societies. Technology is reshaping communication, politics, and human behavior itself. Can capitalism adapt to these challenges, or will entirely new economic systems eventually emerge? Today, we will explore the future of capitalism, technology, inequality, automation, and the possible future of human civilization. Let's begin. First, let's remember what capitalism is. Capitalism is an economic system based on private ownership, markets, competition, profit incentives, investment, and growth. For centuries, capitalism generated enormous innovation and wealth. Modern medicine, global trade, digital technology, mass production. Capitalist economies transformed human civilization dramatically. However, capitalism has always contained internal tensions. The same system that creates innovation can also create instability and inequality. The same competition that increases productivity can also create stress and insecurity. And today, many of these tensions are becoming more visible. Now let's discuss inequality again. One major criticism of modern capitalism is wealth concentration. In many countries, a small number of individuals and corporations control enormous amounts of wealth and influence. Meanwhile, many workers experience job insecurity, rising housing costs, debt, stagnant wages. Technology and globalization sometimes increase these gaps further. This raises political and social concerns about fairness and long-term stability. Now let's talk about automation. Artificial intelligence and robotics may transform labor markets more rapidly than previous technological revolutions. Some economists believe automation will create new industries and opportunities. Others worry many workers could become economically unnecessary in certain sectors. If productivity continues rising while fewer workers are needed, societies may face difficult questions. How should income be distributed? What happens if stable employment becomes less available? How should human dignity and purpose be protected? Now let's discuss environmental sustainability. Modern capitalism often depends on continuous growth and consumption, but climate change raises an uncomfortable question. Can endless economic expansion continue on a finite planet? Many economists now argue future capitalism must become more sustainable. This may require cleaner energy, circular economies, long-term environmental planning, different definitions of economic success. The future economy may need to balance profit with sustainability more carefully. Now let's talk about technology companies. In earlier capitalist systems, industries were often based on factories and physical production. Today, some of the world's most powerful companies are digital platforms. These companies collect enormous amounts of data, attention, influence. Technology platforms increasingly shape communication, information, politics, consumer behavior. Some critics argue modern capitalism is evolving into surveillance capitalism, where human attention itself becomes a product. Now here is another important issue, mental health. Modern capitalist societies often reward constant productivity and competition. People feel pressure to work harder, consume more, achieve more, compare constantly with others. This environment may contribute to anxiety, burnout, loneliness, depression. As economies become wealthier materially, societies are increasingly questioning whether current systems truly maximize human well-being. Now let's discuss possible future solutions. Different thinkers propose very different ideas. Some support reforming capitalism through stronger welfare systems, progressive taxation, labor protections, environmental regulation. Others propose more radical changes such as universal basic income, shorter work weeks, cooperative ownership models, post-growth economics. There is no global agreement yet. The debate continues. Now here is something important. Capitalism has survived many crises before. Industrial revolutions, financial crashes, wars, globalization. The system adapted repeatedly. This means capitalism may continue evolving rather than disappearing completely. Future capitalism may look very different from 20th century capitalism. Now let's connect these to human values. At its core, economics is not only about production and profit, it is also about deciding what kind of society should humans build. Should economics prioritize efficiency, equality, freedom, sustainability, happiness, stability? Different societies may answer these questions differently. Now here is one final important idea. The future economy will likely depend not only on technology but also on wisdom. Human civilization now possesses enormous productive power. The challenge is no longer simply producing more. The deeper challenge may be learning how to use wealth, technology, and power responsibly. So let's summarize today's lecture. Capitalism created enormous innovation and economic growth, but also generated inequality, instability, and environmental pressures. The 21st century presents major challenges including automation, climate change, technological concentration, and mental health concerns. Some people support reforming capitalism, while others propose more fundamental changes. Capitalism will likely continue evolving as societies adapt to new realities, and because economic systems shape nearly every aspect of human life, understanding the future of capitalism may be one of the most important questions of our century itself. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this lecture, please like and subscribe. And in the next video, we will discuss another major question. What is the purpose of economics? Why do humans study economics in the first place? See you next time.